Welcome back to Strawberry Ink. Today, we're looking at two tragedies that unfolded in very different places. One on the highways of Spain, the other inside the walls of a Tennessee school. Both stories reminded us of how fragile life is and how unexpected moments can change everything. So, before I continue on, remember today to hug your parents, your siblings, your friends, all the loved ones that are with you still on this earth. Hug them because you never know if this is the last time you'll see them. In early July 2025, the football world was shaken by sudden death of Liverpool forward Diogo Jota, a well-known soccer player. On July 3rd, just after midnight, Jota and his brother André Silva were driving on the A52 motorway in Zamora province, northwestern Spain. The two were headed to Santander, planning to take a ferry back to England so Jota could rejoin Liverpool's preseason training. There was a reason they were not flying. Jota had recently undergone a lung procedure in Porto, Portugal, and his doctors advised against air travel. Driving seemed safer than taking a plane. But as they traveled through the municipality of Cernadilla, tragedy struck. Authorities believed that while overtaking another vehicle, the Lamborghini they were in suffered a tear blowout. The car veered off the road, slammed into a guardrail, and burst into flames. Both Jota and Andre died at the scene. Spanish Civil Guard investigators later said that all the evidence pointed to Jota himself driving. Skid marks, tire fragments, and forensic tests all suggested that. There were also signs the car may have been moving above the posted speed limit. No other vehicles were involved in the accident. For Jota, just recovering from the surgery, the physical stress of such a sudden crisis may have been too much. Some have since questioned whether Andes should have been behind the wheel instead. Some also question whether Jota should have been required to present a permit in order to drive while having such a surgery done. And some believe he should not have been driving at all. That's at least what I believe too. So therefore, I advise you guys, if you're going through any severe medical procedure, please, if you have the chance to have someone else drive you, let them drive you, but do not drive, please. So for Liverpool fans and football fans, soccer fans everywhere, the loss was crushing. A career still in motion ended in the dark of night on a Spanish highway. I remember first hearing about this. I was in shock. I was at a cafe with my mom, and this breaking news just randomly came on the TV. It went from politics to news about a tragic accident. Now we're going to move on to segment 2 of our episode. We're going to discuss Tennessee. On January 22nd, 2025, tragedy struck inside Antioch High School in Nashville, in the Nashville area, as Antioch is a suburb just outside of the big music city. 17-year-old Solomon Samad Charlie Henderson, a long name. He entered the school carrying a weapon he had stashed earlier in a restroom, a 9mm Taurus G2C pistol. At 11:09 a.m., he walked into the cafeteria. Within 17 seconds, he fired 10 rounds. One of those bullets killed 16-year-old student Josselin Corea Escalante. Two others were injured. One of those injured was grazed by a bullet, and another suffered a facial injury from a fall during the chaos. Both of them survived and were treated at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center. That's also where Jocelyn was rushed, but sadly, she died later that same day. Henderson then turned the gun to himself, dying by suicide in the cafeteria. The Davidson County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the cause. Investigators recovered 2 magazines, one loaded with 9 rounds, another with 7. The gun had been legally purchased in Arizona in 2022. The attack was even partially live streamed on the gaming site Kick, though the footage was swiftly removed and the account was banned. As investigators dug deeper, Henderson's disturbing past came into focus. His writings praised mass killers from Christchurch to Bratislava. He kept a 288-page diary filled with fantasies of murder and fear of being caught, alongside a 51-page white supremacist track, despite him being black himself. He had also been active on extremist forums, including one dedicated to graphic violence. Court records even reveal that in 2023, he was caught with porn in his devices. This was porn of naked kids. This caused him to get suspended from school. In addition to that, he was suspended from school after threatening a student with a box cutter knife. He was ordered to appear in court and had in fact appeared the morning of the shooting for a probation violation. His mother drove him straight to school after court. Classmates described him as quiet, but his writings painted a picture of rage and alienation. In his manifesto, Henderson even considered bombing his former middle school, JFK Middle, as a diversion tactic. There was also an eerie online connection. Henderson had followed Natalie Rupnow, known as Samantha, the shooter of the Abundant Life Christian School in Wisconsin. The two were in the same extremist online spaces. Police say there is no evidence they coordinated their attacks, but the parallels are haunting. Both shooters who had had contact with one another, who had been in the same chats, ultimately died by suicide after their massacre. In the days after, Antioch High School shut down, reopening only after the staff had time to prepare, reflect, and plan for the students' return. The aftermath brought lawsuits. The family of Josselin filed a wrongful death suit against Metro Nashville Public Schools and Metro government. They alleged the school system ignored warning signs like Henderson's past violent behavior. They're seeking $700,000 in damages. That case remains pending. Statements of shock and grief poured in from Governor Bill Lee, from school board officials, even from the White House. But for Jocelyn's family and her classmates, those words can never fill the void left behind. Two stories today, different words, different circumstances. A professional footballer at the height of his career, gone in a highway fireball. A high school student full of promise, cut down in her cafeteria by a classmate lost to rage and ideology. Each story carries lessons about fragility, about the risks we take, and about the darkness that can take root with no one to intervene. This Strawberry Ink, this episode was a unique one. It's one of the first episodes where I combined two different cases together. Actually, three different stories together with the shooting of Samantha Rupnow. Therefore, stay safe, stay aware, and remember, behind every headline, there is a life, a family, and a story worth telling. Stay safe and have a good rest of your day.